I made a community post on my channel saying that I play or I'd be reviewing PGR, but like I'm getting too much of a headache recently from trying to pump out too many like reviews and stuff. Like I did too much with ZZZ. It burnt me out so hard. So I'm just trying to cover different stuff about WoWa now because I mean WoWa is my favorite gacha game, right? Like it just straight up. I'm gonna be honest. It's my favorite gacha game. It's the gacha game I like talking about the most. It's the one I care about the most. So I'm gonna talk about it, right? This game. Complaints. Oh, okay. I can't believe I didn't think of this. It was so obvious. Echo XP. Echo XP is at a huge issue right now, where you basically even if you spend like 240 of your wave plates and you level up an Echo from 0 to 25, you've likely already used all the wave plates you gained in that one day. So the problem or the issue with this is you want double crit stats, and double crit stats in this game for some reason are like stupid rare. I got a very unlucky streak a week ago around there, and I didn't get a double crit leveling echoes to 25 10 times in a row. This was for my fusion. That's why my fusion right here, my fusion echoes that I have on my Chixia right now, two of my one costs, the most common and easy to get, only have one crit stat on them because every single other one failed miserably. And it sucks because the RNG in this game doesn't only apply to getting double crit stats, it also applies to the rolls you get. You can get 6.4% crit rate, or you can get 10.5% crit rate. That's an entire 4% crit rate increase or a crit value. And it gets worse and worse the more you compare high roll echoes and you add more high roll echoes and compare them to low roll ones. And it feels shitty. Like it fucking sucks. Like if you compare a 5 set of double crit echoes that are all the max rolls, even though it's super unrealistic, and then you compare maybe mid rolls, not even low rolls, mid rolls, you're probably losing out on like 20 crit value. And for a lot of people, it doesn't really matter. But when you're trying to min max and you already have your characters maxed and their skills maxed, it's kind of the only thing you have left to do, and it can definitely make a difference, right? Like, let's say, let's take a look at my Jinshi's echoes, right? Double crit, look at this. Two of the lowest rolls, I'm missing out on 4% crit rate, and I'm missing out on 8% crit damage. What about this one? Lowest rolls again. So I'm now missing out on 8 crit rate, and I'm missing out on 16 crit damage. We're already at 32 crit value that I'm missing out on. Like, do you guys see this? Or wait, no. I think I might have exaggerated that. 4 plus 8. Oh no, yeah. 8 CV, 16, and yeah. So 32 crit value I'm losing out on. Already only 2 echoes in. Crit rate 6.9. Again, it's around 4 that I'm missing out on. And for the crit damage, I'm missing out on 5. So that's now 40 crit value. And then 45 crit value. Let's look here. Half and half. So this is 3. So I add 3 crit rate to this. And that's going to make it, what, 51 crit value? And then I add 7 to this. And that's going to make it 58 crit value. As for this one, I have no crit damage, and I add 3 again. I believe I was on 51 crit value, so that makes it 56 or 57. So I'm missing about 57 crit value, and I mean, that's a lot, right? That's actually like a lot. Like, imagine if this was a 57 crit value just put into crit damage is double my crit damage with this crit rate. So I'm missing out on a lot of stats. Like, I could have 80% crit rate by now if my crit rate rolls were higher. I could also have 260 or 270 crit damage if my crit rolls were higher, but I haven't been lucky enough. And it's definitely something that I find frustrating. However, it's certainly something that a casual won't really notice or care about because this is only when you're like min max, right? Like you don't have anything else to worry about, and 90% of the time you can get away with the stats I have right now, which is 64% crit rate and 240% crit damage. I don't even have Jinshi's Sig weapon. If I did, I think I'd be at like 80 or 90 crit rate, and then if I had high roll crit rate echoes, I'd be at 100% crit rate. So that'd be pretty broken, but I just don't have it right now, right? Bro, I hate that goddamn music. Did I just drown? Oh my god. I love that they don't send you back to like a teleporter all the way far away like Genshin does when you die. Like that shit is actually so annoying. But anyway, yeah, the ecosystem has an extreme problem in this game. I think it's also very annoying trying to get main stat 3 costs. Lately, they added in 1.1 Mount Firmament, where these one, like, tigers, these saber-tooths or whatever they are, they guarantee drop spectral damage 3 cost echoes. That's even if they drop the echo to begin with anyways, though. But it's still way too difficult to actually be able to obtain them consistently, right? Like I'd say every 2 or 3 days, I actually get a main stat 3 cost echo with the main stat I want, right? Like I got super lucky recently, and I feel like it's a sign that the game wants me to pull for Chang Li. And what happened was I got 3 or 4 3 cost echoes today with fusion damage bonus and moonlit. Now, why that exactly correlates to Chang Li is Chang Li's best team is likely gonna be with either. I saw someone say you could probably run a sub DPS team, which is Yinlin and Chang Li and then Verena as like the third. But the number one team that's being speculated for her most damage is being with Encore. And if you don't know, the 5-set bonus of Moonlit gives the next resonator you switch into a 22% attack buff, and as well the wearer an energy regen buff, which is pretty big, right? So you'd be giving Encore a fusion damage bonus with your outro. And I believe by default in her kit she has like some type of defense penetration that you also transfer. And then on top of that, you're also giving Encore 22% attack, and you're regenerating energy way faster than normal. So it's like this combo that goes absolutely nuts. And I got like 2 or 3 fusion damage bonus main costs, or sorry, main stats on my 3 cost echoes that I farmed today while farming for the Moonlit set. Now, by the way, the reason I was farming for it was not because of Chang Li. I was actually farming for it for Yinlin, because once Shang Liao comes out, I want to run Yinlin with him. And that attack buff, I don't know, maybe that attack buff ends up being significant, as well as the ER increase. But no, I got a bunch of fusion 3 cost main stat over and over and over again. And it can definitely be frustrating for some people trying to go for like specific main stats. Like this game, I think, has yet to implement an item like Honkai Star Rail or Genshin that comes once in a while in events or obtainable in rewards or battle passes, where you can change or choose the main stat of the echo you want. Now they have something kind of similar in Elusive Realm, but Elusive Realm comes and goes like every 1 to 2 months. It's way too inconsistent, and it takes a while for it to come back and for the rewards to reset. So I'm not really counting that. Especially like rolling substats in this game is significantly worse than like let's say HSR or Genshin, because the problem with it is that there's so many substats in this game, right? You have 2 versions of HP, 2 versions of defense, you have 2 versions of attack, you have 2 crit stats, which are what you actually want. Then you have heavy damage bonus, basic attack damage bonus, liberation damage bonus, resonant skill damage bonus, and I'm pretty sure there's like even more energy regen. Um, Basically, there's a lot of substats. There's like probably 15 if I had to guess, and you're trying to get two of them, and you're also trying to get decent rolls of them, and it wouldn't be a problem if the main costs were easy to get, right? But the only way you're going to consistently get a ton of 3 costs with good main stat echoes is if you farm the entire map and run echoes into extinction every single day. Like, that's quite literally the only way I see you consistently getting main stat echoes with the right main stat, right? And so it's just not convenient, right? These gacha games are kind of made for convenience, right? Like, sure, at the beginning you have to invest some time and build the characters and blah blah blah. But once you hit the end game, it's more of a convenience thing to help people enjoy the game more and just enjoy the story, enjoy the characters, and not have to worry about grinding so much. But it's a bit, not a bit, it's very annoying how hard it is to get double crit stats, and then on top of that, how hard it is to find a main stat echo that you want for the 3 cost. Because it's going to be one of those things where you're only going to get the 3 cost you actually want with the right main stat once or twice a day, or not even that. Once a day, or like once every 2 days, I'd say, around an average. And you're not gonna roll the double crit on it. And if it happens consistently and you're unlucky, you're gonna go weeks without getting a single 3 cost echo with the right main stat and the right crit stats. I'll give you an example. Like I said before, my Chixia, her echoes. This bird took me, I think, 10 or 15 tries of main cost or 3 cost main stat echoes with fusion damage bonus. It took me like 10 or 15 tries to finally get this double crit echo. And this echo isn't even that good. Like, heavy attack damage bonus. I mean, maybe this is good on Changli, I don't know, but I'm probably not even going to roll on Changli. And then it has HP and defense percent. It doesn't even have attack percent. If it had attack percent, I'd say it's like a really good one, but this is just meh. It's very easily replaceable because of the low crit rate roll and the 2 dead stats. And then, as I said before, I've rolled a shit ton of these Fusion 1 costs, and I have yet to get a double crit 1 cost echo. And these are the easiest ones to get, right? They're the most common. But they're the ones I've been the most unlucky on. And by the way, for this Inferno Rider, before I got this guy, I want you to see just how many Inferno Riders I farmed and had to go through before I even managed to get 1 crit damage or crit rate 1 that worked. Look at this, man. Attack, attack, defense, healing bonus, attack, defense, defense, defense. Like, I went through all these guys, right? Oh, I have a crit rate 1. What the heck? Okay. But basically, I farmed him, I think, like 40 times in a day, and I failed miserably. And then I randomly got him from the dailies when they updated it so that you could get like 4 costs from it. And I ended up getting a crit damage echo from him. And then that's the one that finally ended up rolling double crit. Like, the irony, man. Like, what's even the point of farming when I can just randomly get it from dailies? But yeah, I'd say that's really my only real issues with this game. I already mentioned them. I'm sure many people already know that the story is a bit too fast at the beginning. I don't know if they reworked it since launch, but it was definitely a bit too fast, and you were just kind of like thrown to the wolves and trying to understand everything that was going on. Um, what else? The dialogue. There's many dialogue and story criticisms that the game has from 1.0. However, most of it just disappeared, like, because of 1.1. 1.1 showed people that, like, okay, they're now going on the right track. They're reworking their voice lines, reworking their story, and it's actually, like, banging. right? It's not the best, but it's still very good and very enjoyable in the end. That's what matters, right? They're showing incredible improvement at an incredible rate that we've never seen from MiHoYo, right? MiHoYo has this problem where they'll wait until something gets like so bad that the community is completely fed up. Like every community is fed up. And then they'll finally change it. But Kuro actually listens even to the nitpicky things that people have about the story, the dialogue, the voice lines. And it gives me so much hope for this game. And it's why I'm so happy playing this game. Because I have confidence that if something goes wrong or if there's something that the community doesn't agree with, they will listen to us. And that's really what matters at the end of the day in these gachas is having this relationship with the game and the company where it's like both give to each other, right? Like the Wuwa fan base is very dedicated, very hardcore. I mean, there's definitely a lot of casuals, but there's also a much bigger hardcore fan base that just loves fighting the holograms and doing a bunch of different challenges, right? And it's this back and forth thing where we show appreciation towards each other and it creates a thriving game, a thriving environment. And I truly believe if Wuwa and Kuro they keep improving and keep improving and keep improving the game, it'll likely overtake Genshin and the Honkai Star Rail in the future. When I say in the future, obviously I don't mean right now, right? The game just launched. Even with all the hype it had at launch, it there's always gonna be MiHoYo, right? Like MiHoYo is that big brand, like that big game, that titan that is almost impossible to take down or take over for anybody else. But I truly believe, depending on where Kuro goes with Wuthering Waves, it could overtake Genshin, HSR, and Zenless Zone Zero in the future and become the new like gacha titan, basically. Azure Promelia is rumored to come out in, well, actually I don't know when it's going to come out, but there's been some trailers and they've even shown actual gameplay and it looks beautiful, man. Like it's visually stunning, right? Um as for the gameplay, we're not really fully aware if it's like clunky or weird. Like all we saw was a few attacks and it wasn't really much to go off of. So we can't really give an accurate like review of the combat. I think the animations in Azure Promelia will be worse than Wuwa. It's just a observation I made from, I believe, one of the trailers they made recently. But judging from the character animations, they won't be as smooth or detailed, or like their designs either. It won't be as detailed as Wu was, which is already a win for Wuthering Waves in that aspect. But for everything else, I really can't speak on. But just know it looks visually stunning. Look it up for yourself. Azure Promelia. I mean, I'm probably gonna play it whenever it ends up releasing, whether that be 1 year or 2 years, and I'll get my review on it. And I hope it's good because there's nothing that we need more in the gacha space than competition. Because MiHoYo's been on too much of a run, basically, right? They're the most popular company. They have the most popular and successful games. So they just put everything to their standard, and then other gacha games that are below it are just kind of copy the big Titan standard. So if Wuwa becomes #1 gacha game in the future, guess what companies are going to do? They're going to look at Wuwa. They're going to take from what they've done. And you know what they're going to do? They're probably going to change the weapon banner to 100% rate. Like straight up. And they're going to be significantly more rewarding with their players, and they're going to listen more because they're going to be like, wow, people were right. Just give them a gacha game that's good with a team that actually listens to the player base and constantly improves, and you have a successful game, right? And yeah, I mean, that's all I have for the video today. I might have ranted and gone on too long, I'm not sure. But yeah, hope all of you have a great day. Hope all of you have a great night. And peace.